Tristan. Arguing with me about Mars is like arguing with Buzz Aldrin on the Apollo missions. Okay? It's a very foolish endeavor, one that you will most certainly lose. Okay? You just will lose. I mean, Mars is my baby, okay? It's my thing. It's something that I've invested years into, literally. As we will see in just a moment. Evil must be punished. Alrighty, I am at space.com. Space.com. Alright. Mars emerging from Ice Age, data suggest. By space.com, posted 0300 p.m. ET, 8 December 2003. 2003. Okay? So, guess what it's doing by now, 2007. Scientists have suspected in recent years that Mars might be undergoing some sort of global warming. New data points to the possibility it is emerging from an ice age. NASA's Mars Odyssey orbiter has been surveying the planet for nearly a full Martian year now, and it has spotted seasonal changes like the advance and retreat of polar ice. It's also gathering data of a possible longer trend. There appears to be too much frozen water at low altitude regions away from the frigid poles, given the current climate of Mars. The situation is not in equilibrium, said William Feldman of the Los Alamos National Laboratory. One explanation could be that Mars is just coming out of an ice age, Feldman said. In some low-altitude areas, the ice is already dissipated. In others, that process is slower and hasn't reached an equilibrium yet. Those areas are like patches of snow you sometimes see persisting in protected spots along the last snowfall of winter. Frozen water makes up as much as 10% of the top 3 feet, 1 meter, of surface material in some regions close to the equator. Dust deposits may be covering and insulating the lingering ice, Feldman said. Feldman is the lead scientist for an Odyssey instrument that assesses water content indirectly through measurements of neutron emissions. He and other Odyssey scientists described the recent findings today at the fall meeting of American Geophysical Union in San Francisco. Excuse me. Odyssey is giving us indications of recent global climate change in Mars, says Jeffrey Plout, project scientist for the mission at NASA's Jet Propulsion Library. High-altitude regions of Mars have layers with differing ice content within the top 20 inches, half a meter or so of the surface, researchers conclude from mapping of hydrogen abundance based on gamma-ray emissions. All right, I won't bother going through the whole thing. I think I've proved my point. My point is that when you argue with me about Mars, you will lose. Okay, Tristan, you will lose. You want to argue with me about something else? Great. You might have a chance. But with Mars, pal. I used to have a website called Mars or Bust. That used to be my website until the provider went belly up, unfortunately. So Mars is my thing, man. Mars has been my thing for years and years and years. All right? I'm not going to get on here and talk about Mars without me knowing exactly what the hell's going on. Now, you'll notice, and I made an effort to point it out to you, that this report from space.com was in 2003. Now, given that Mars is continually heating up, and this being 2007, not only is leaks likely, they are a most definite possibility. A most definite possibility. And according to info that I was reading, the equator around Mars can sometimes get as high as 60 degrees. Did you know that? Okay, so please argue with me about something else, because when it comes to Mars, you're just gonna lose, dude. Okay, that's it. You're just gonna lose. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Oh, and 60 degrees is hardly Arctic weather. You know, I mean, now granted that the 60 degrees is only around the equator, and it's only certain periods of the Mars year. But still, 60 degrees is pretty darn comfortable. I mean, it's a bit chilly for me, but you know, a nice strong jacket, you might be able to hang in there pretty well. So yeah, you know, what else can I say, dude? You lose.